Welcome to Your Retirement Lifesaver with Elise Roberts. This show's mission is to share financial knowledge that brings you peace and abundance for your financial future. Let today's planning remove tomorrow's uncertainty. Let's turn it over to our host, Elise Roberts.
All right. Well, Elise, with finances to support our lifestyle, it changes as we evolve. How do you help people plan for the finances of their lifestyle?
Well, Adriana, I believe that communication is the key. The whole part of getting to know someone and what their lifestyle is today means a lot about where it's going. So when people share with me what they want to see happen as they retire, it really matters too what their lifestyle is today. And that usually is very similar. And some people want to travel more, but for the most part, it's very similar. People are not likely to want to lower their standard of living just because they've retired. So, right. Yeah, so you don't work all your life and then decide you want to change your standard of living because now you're retired. You usually have a little better standard of living. You don't have to be controlled by someone else's calendar and when you have to be somewhere. So, but the key for us is communication, questions, asking a lot of questions. I ask a lot of questions about clients' lifestyle and what's important to them, how they see themselves in retirement, and also family questions. You know, do they have grandkids? Where do they live? So if the grandkids are far away, this is going to matter. So all of this is just really important as we plan for that change of life, but it doesn't mean you have to change your standard of living as well.
Right. And help plan for that big what if too, you know?
This is really key. So there's those what ifs that happen. So we can make all the plans we want, but when life happens, life happens.
Right.
So knowing about family, about health, about all of those things with our clients, that really helps us to make sure that as their life evolves and things do change, that we have those preparations in place for the what ifs. And there's a lot of what ifs, and every family and every client is different. So without getting into details, the what ifs are really important. And one of the major what ifs is health.
Right.
So we have to make sure that's taken care of and planned for just in case. So.
And talking about that, Elise, what are some components that are often overlooked when planning for our finances in retirement?
Well, I have to say that a lot of people overlook the fact that there is all these components that need to be in your plan. And people are focused on one component. As we build our wealth, we are going through the phase of retirement called the accumulation phase. We talked about this in the last episode. Your accumulation phase is when you're building your wealth, and the components of that plan are totally different. So you really have to flip the components and what is part of the plan, what the details are and how it's planned for. That is where we come in. We're distribution advisors. Right. We're not the accumulation advisor that you spent 20, 30 years with. It takes a whole set of skills different from when you're building your wealth. So these are the components that I would make sure it's in every plan. Number one, to make sure you have the rule of 100 in place. And I know we haven't had an actual episode of the rule of 100, and that's coming. So stay tuned. This is going to be really exciting. Look for the rule of 100. That'll be a great way to protect yourself through all of the what ifs. So the foundation is the rule of 100. So a solid foundation in your plan. Access to your money. You have to have access to the money. So we want to make sure that what you might need, you'll be able to access that money as you need it. We have to make sure your money grows.
Right.
No matter what, you need growth, and we have to make sure we have growth with that security at the same time. So that's, like I said, it's a special set of skills.
Absolutely.
Also, a component of the distribution is healthcare. So we all know what happens as we age. Our healthcare becomes more and more important. It becomes very costly, so we have to plan for that. And finally, legacy. Legacy is, for everyone, very, very different. Some people really don't want to leave money. They want to spend it all. So we'll help you do that if that's what you choose. But many people do have desires and to leave money, and not just the desire to leave money, but they have something that's very dear to their heart. Humane Society, different organizations, their church. So wherever you want to leave your money, if you don't use it all, we're going to make sure that happens and that money gets where you say you want it to go. And that's key. So those are those 5 components. I'll just go through them again. The solid foundation, which is going, the rule of 100, access to your money, growth on your money, the healthcare features, and legacy features.
Awesome. And with those 5 components, I'm sure we've had a lot of success stories. Can you share a little bit of a success story with financial planning for someone to navigate these lifestyle changes?
Well, I'll tell you, the one that comes to mind first is a couple that came to see me about 5 or 6 years ago. And the husband, he kind of gave me a little heads up in a message. And what it was is something I may not have noticed right away, but I did sense a little bit. The wife had the beginning signs of dementia. She did not have Alzheimer's. He did not want to have that as part of our conversation with her in the room, but he wanted to warn me this is what was coming, and he needed to make sure that was prepared for. And so we did that. And today they live in Arizona. They're a really happy couple. She's gone into pretty much full-blown Alzheimer's. And it has been planned for. They're living a happy life. I hear really great stories from him. He shares with me. So that's one of the greatest stories that I can think of, that we planned for it. We knew that it was coming. Most people don't know that's coming. So we have to plan for that as well. But to me, that's one of the greatest success stories, is hearing how good they're doing and how they're enjoying their lifestyle in Arizona now. And we stay in touch on a regular basis. So it's nice.
Awesome. You got to help.
It gives me chills because I can picture them sitting in my office. Yeah.
Awesome. All right.
This show is sponsored by Secure Today Financial. Thank you for being our guest. Never hesitate to reach out to our host, Elise Roberts. She considers every relationship important and thoroughly loves to help people gain peace in their finances. Elise's contact information is below, and we'll see you on the next episode.